What's going on, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and we're dealing with quite a choppy market today, but that's kind of to be expected. We do have the Fed meeting here after hours, and after that meeting, the market will likely choose a direction. Now, the expectation is a 75-point raise, or 0.75%. Now, we may get 50 or we may get 100, but I'm of the opinion that I think a higher rate is better, so we can just actually get forward with it and get inflation under control. If we just keep pushing this along, giving just a 25, like, yes, the market might enjoy a lower rate hike, but in reality, it's going to come to a point where the market's going to start doubting Jerome Powell's ability to lower inflation. CPI is right around 8% still, and it seems like these rate hikes really aren't doing a whole lot. I personally think we're towards our peak, and we are going to downtrend from here. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to get rate hikes, and that's likely going to continue to hurt the market. But remember, guys, the market is always forward looking, and by the time they stop raising rates, the market will already likely be on recovery mode months before that. But let's get into this video. I just wanted to go over a couple of stocks on the chart. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content, and let's go. And first off is going to be Nvidia stock, or NVDA. Now, this one has been in a downtrend since November 2021, so you'll see this clear downward channel. I do expect some lower levels, and upon zooming in a bit, you'll see that we are in this falling wedge, and we will likely break out of it, cause a little rally, and then I think we're going to retest the lows personally. One thing that's interesting to me, however, is how strong Nvidia is holding, considering stocks like Apple, which we're going to look at in a second. Considering a lot of these stocks going down, we actually have an update on Nvidia showing a lot of strength in the market compared to other stocks. But I do think this will be short-lived, and I do think it's going to start pulling back at some point. I think we're going to test this trend line, not break out of it. We're going to pull back, test this low, and at some point I do believe we'll break out of this, but I don't think it'll be sustained for very long. I'm not trying to argue with the chart. I could definitely see this coming a little bit lower, but from a long-term perspective, I am really liking Nvidia at this price, but I haven't yet picked any up. Next up is Apple, and this one hasn't been in a downtrend as long at all. This one has actually just started a downtrend towards the middle of September, so it really hasn't been for very long. But you'll see on the last run we had, we double topped here. I'd say this was a double top, and zooming out a bit on Apple, you'll see that we are in this kind of widening pattern, this downward widening pattern, and today it's actually been kind of weak. It's been pulling back on the day. It is coming up towards this trend line. I think we're going to pull back, and we are going to test this 148. But where Apple's at, I am starting to like it. I want to see it more closer to the low 140s and the 130s before I would potentially add. But remember, guys, this is Apple. If you want something solid for the long term, you need to look no further. Now, I did want to give you guys an update on Cleanspark. It has been very bearish, pulling back. We are actually at new lows. We did break our 380, and it ended up in this descending channel. It did just break out of it, but I think it's very possible that we do retest this 334, this low we just created. I did take this opportunity to add a few yesterday, and I'm watching for another entry point. If we do break these lows, I'll likely buy right around the low 3s if it does get there. Now, zooming out all the way to 2021, you'll see that we've been in this downtrend for quite a long time, and you'll see that we are approaching a potential to reverse here. We just have not done it though. It just refuses to reverse. But I think once it does that, we are going to have a nice pop. And next up, I did want to give you guys an update on ChargePoint. It came up near $20, started falling. I think you have to watch for this $16 area. This is an important level to watch. We did bounce off of that. If we retest it, it's possible we break it. You'll see that we are in this downward channel, so it's very likely, I think, that we will test this $16. Of course, the market could change. You know, maybe we get a lower rate hike, which in my opinion isn't the best thing. The market might see that as a positive thing, and it might rally ChargePoint. I'm continuing to watch it. I still have my position. I am looking for lower levels, possibly around 15 before adding to my positions. I'm pretty much built out on it. And I'm not worried about ChargePoint one bit. I will continue to hold. And I did want to show you guys the SPY real quick, just some important levels to watch. We're right now at almost 386. I personally think 385 is a very important level to watch. We do have a support there. Quite a few times we bounced off of it. If we break that 385, we're definitely falling. And we do have a previous resistance there. So this resistance did flip as a support, but if we break it, it will likely become a resistance again for us. And zooming out a bit, you'll see that the SPY has been in this downward channel since mid-August. I personally expect it to continue downwards farther. Now, of course, things could change. It could just break out of this downtrend, but I just don't see it in the near future. I personally do think the SPY will come and retest these 370s, and it really doesn't take a lot for us to get back to this 370 area, even the 360s. But in my personal opinion, being a long-term investor, I do think, of course, the SPY is worthy of a DCA. However, short term, I gotta say I'm a bit bearish. But that's all I got for you guys today. Just a quick little update on some things I'm watching. What are you guys looking out for lately in the market? This FOMC meeting is definitely going to be a nail biter here. And once we get through it, the market is very likely to pick a direction, whether that's a continued downtrend or a pushback higher. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks as always. Take care.